Trump needs peace. We need Ukraine.
Look, Trump needs a deal with Putin because you indeed forget that a deal with Ukraine...
Wait, I didn't say anything about Putin, and I'm not going to talk about Putin at all. I'm only talking about Trump and Zelensky.
You can't understand Trump's incentive or motivation to make any deal with Ukraine in any way outside of his broader game.
Imagine there's no Putin.
There's literally no Putin.
Well, no, there is. There is a problem. Trump clearly doesn't understand Zelensky's motivation. He doesn't want to understand, doesn't know how to understand, can't. These are just nuances. He just doesn't understand. Zelensky tries to explain it to him as best as he can, but they come from different perspectives. For Trump, peace is of utmost importance because otherwise it's a global nuclear war. Got it! For him, it's definitely a global value. For Zelensky, the value is Ukraine. He doesn't care whether there will be a nuclear war or not. This is the fundamental misunderstanding. Our nationalism has indeed reached a truly global level. A global problem. Yes, in this global context, we want sovereignty, protection and safety, and independence, even if the world perishes. And Trump needs there to be peace, even if Ukraine perishes. And this is fundamental. They understand it was
peace in the context of his deal with Russia regarding China and the New World architecture. It's important because it provides the motivation for the trauma.
You constantly try to introduce some unnecessary things that dilute. Doesn't Putin want to avoid a nuclear war? China doesn't want it. Do you understand what happened in Ukraine? What didn't happen in the rest of the world? We allowed nuclear war as an element of our war and said that even with this, we will continue to fight. But neither Putin nor Xi nor Trump allow this in any way. At least not yet. Do you understand the difference? We have internally experienced this, digested it, and decided it doesn't matter. We will go to the end, even if it's destined. I'm not saying I support this. I'm just explaining to you what is happening in Ukraine. But neither in the States, nor in Europe, nor in Russia, nor in China have they experienced this, because they are not in a situation of such existential choice. For us, the death of the world and the death of Ukraine are the same, but not for them. If there is no Ukraine, then we don't need such a world. We just don't want to say these words like Putin does. Putin says it, but we still haven't said it.
Well, only Putin.
Russia and much further. And we still haven't said it in the President's Charter, but I asked this question. In fact, I asked it on Facebook. Experience, what about 20 people opened up? Because people certainly cannot cope with the word of certain problems. Because for them it seems that if you pose the question this way, you are acting on Russia's side, although I still don't understand why this is considered acting on Russia's side. Well, anyway, and this is what's happening today. You see, observe, it's like this. If it's a deal and you ignore the fundamental points in it, and whether the world lives or doesn't live are fundamental points, you know, then it's a deal with the devil. A deal with the devil is not in the sense that you are with the devil, but in the sense that the devil is in the details and in order for your country to live. You must put the life of the world as a small thing. That's where the devil is in this detail. Trump tells him, man, the whole world is on the brink of a world war. He says, I don't care. The main thing is that Ukraine was lived and was safe. This is indeed nationalism taken to a global level, to the extreme. When it doesn't matter to him whether the world exists or not, as long as the nation is above all. That's the essence. I'm not expressing any opinion right now. I'm just articulating this thing as clearly as possible. And the logic about ontology. Look, there's a bunch of several discussions on Facebook about, well, first of all, since January 20th, the entire Facebook feed is about Trump. I wrote a post in a day. Are we ready for an infodemic storm? Well, everyone was smiling, joking in different ways, but I saw that people were not ready. For over a month now, the entire Facebook feed is constantly about Trump. All of it. Conversations about anything and everything. What especially annoys me are the talks about benefits. Like, is Ukraine beneficial or not? Guys, what are you even talking about? The point is whether Ukraine will exist or not. Not about whether it's beneficial for it to offer these rare earth elements right now. That's what it's about. It's about survival, not about benefits. If Ukraine doesn't exist, there won't be anyone for whom it's beneficial or not. This understanding is lacking.
It's like the Ukrainian delegation during the negotiations in Paris in 1919 when they arrived there.
I would say during the Brest-Litovsk peace negotiations a bit earlier, they say something on their own and they get distracted, but the Ukrainians say, "Who are you anyway?" We, Ukraine, are like this real estate. Guys, shall we perhaps stop the negotiation process at this point in time? The process was stopped for us, but no one wants to tell this story. The negotiation process was stopped for us. We came here, tried to vote for an independent Ukraine, then returned, and the negotiations continued. So, no one wants to analyze the close peace, these negotiations. The close peace was interrupted so that Ukraine could become Ukraine. So, basically, it's the same story. That is, the inability for self-determination. You, who are you? Are you literally for the whole world, or only for peace in your own territory? Are you for sovereignty, certainly, so to speak, the possibility of humanity's sovereignty, or are you for your own sovereignty? You need to decide. If you have decided, then it's easier to deal with you.
Generally speaking, you're saying that to reach some agreement, you need to go beyond just your own interest.
Exactly. Not just interest, but certainly beyond any benefit, and try to think about the common good. Try to change. What is the common good? Trump about the common good. And you, for example, about your own benefit, your own existence, your own preservation.
The good for America? He emphasizes them, America first?
Wait.
Let me finish. But his idea of good is indeed based on the premise that there will be peace. And he appeals to that.
So, wouldn't it be significant for the whole world if we were talking about France, about Germany? But the problem is, or rather the circumstance is, that America is a hegemon. The circumstance that America is a hegemon. In this case, the good for the hegemon is the world's restraint from war. What does Trump say? America today, regardless of the fact that both Russia is strong and China is strong, is still the guarantor of maintaining peace on the brink of war. America. Not Russia and not China. America. Thanks to many resources and not even economic ones.
Everyone seeks its favor as the truth, the ultimate truth.
As a guarantor,